Oh, good morning. I am not feeling well. Oh, I don't know. My blood sugar is a little high. Oh, what to do? What to do? I just want to go back to sleep. Good morning, Mike's Diabetes World. Have you ever woken up feeling like that? You just didn't really want to do anything. You felt a little ill, like you had the flu, and so often we tend to do this, and we just think, oh, I'm coming down with something. But if you're diabetic, other things could be happening. So that's what we're going to discuss today is high blood sugars. Sorry, I got some bumps in the throat. What should we do? What shouldn't we do? Every diabetic, whether they're type 1 or type 2, sometimes will have a high blood sugar. And as I mentioned in yesterday's video, you can't just sort of like be it at an even keel all the time. Well, if you ate the exact same things and if you do the exact same things every day, then your blood sugar should stay normal. Well, that's great if everyone did the exact same things every day and ate the exact same things every day. But why should just because we have diabetes have to go along with that? Now, a lot of people still think, oh, well, you have done something wrong. You must have eaten something wrong, or you must have, I don't know, not taken enough insulin. Or, you have to get out and you have to exercise more. But why does it happen? Well, the obvious that everyone seems to go to is, oh, well, you've eaten something you shouldn't have. And my blood sugar is high right now, as you can tell by my pump. So it says high predicted. So maybe I should just go high. And I think I mentioned in a few videos that a lot of girls, or teenage girls, will have or not take their insulins and have high blood sugars so that they can regulate their weight. That is such a wrong move to make. I would love to be high. I keep taking my insulin and I sometimes keep going so low. So, what do you do if you have a high blood sugar? Well, your doctor should have given you a correction dose. And a lot of times, that may just do it. That may just be enough to click you into your body going, oh, okay, I have insulin now. Let's just go on our merry way. Now, it could also mean that you need more. Excuse me. Don't know why, but lately I've been so tired. Well, now what could be another reason? You could be under a lot of stress. You may not necessarily feel it, and I know there was years ago. I'm just gonna move something else. No, it's not gonna come. There was this was the early '80s, and I was at where was I? I was at Lionsgate Hospital, and the doctors there, thought, it must be stress. We have no other reason why he has such high blood sugars. It must be stress. So they talked to a social worker. We talked to my parents, and what came out of it was, oh, well, you don't have enough stress in your life. So I still have real problems when people say, well, you're having high blood sugar. What are you so stressed out about? But, I don't think that that's the answer to all questions. And then, oh, well, they solved the issue and everything's fine and everything's dandy. If that was the case, a lot less diabetic issues would be out there. I don't think, well, stress may do a little bit part of it. I don't think it's a massive part of it. But your doctor may have different thoughts on the subject. But don't, get advice and make up your own mind. That's what an awful lot of what I really want to convey about these messages. I want you to think and come up with solutions which are right for you. There's no reason for people to just tell you and believe rightfully. Diabetes, I don't think, is the same disease. Whether you have type 1 or type 2, I don't think you're the same no matter what. Because different things affect you that don't affect other people. And now, funny, peculiar things, and this was, I don't know, back mid-'80s, was my endocrinologist, Dr. John Hunt, who did incredible work with diabetics. Said that, to me about the stress component and how much did it really play a part. And he said that there was a lady who had low blood sugar, and they decided, well, they'd take a look at how much stress did this lady have in her life, and it came back that, oh, her daughter was causing her stress, and then they noticed that she would go get her hair colored twice a month. Excuse me again. Said it was 17.5. We'll have to go do a glucometer reading when we get back. And this reading would always go up after her hair. And it was suddenly realized that a key ingredient was sugar in the hair dye. And that was causing her blood sugars to raise. So, just don't think that the blood sugars automatically go up on you and, things aren't working right, and high blood sugars are many different things. You're giving off a lot more adrenaline going, especially if you're just entering puberty. You could be counting your carbs wrong. Now, what are the symptoms? Well, the symptoms are thirst. And it's not, I'm thirsty. It's not like you've had too much salt for dinner, or it is thirst. Your mouth is, and your tongue is cracking, and no matter how much you drink, you can't get rid of the thirst. And when I was diagnosed, and everyone goes through a high when they're diagnosed, I drank so much water. And then I would have to pee. So I thought, well, I'm just going to go to the bathroom, and then I'm not going to drink. Well, that was probably the most stupidest thing I could have done. But I did it. It's 20/20 hindsight now. Now that I know it, you're going to if you're going to have a high blood sugar, you're going to have to go through the thirst and everything. It's just part of the game. But if you are diagnosed with diabetes, I'm sure nowadays it's part to get the correction doses in line. What else? Well, because you're becoming dehydrated, you get very tired, you're not getting your energy because you have no insulin. And what does insulin do? Well, insulin is like a key. It's always bright in the mornings here. And this key will open up the door and allow the sugar to go in. And the sugar then can give you fuel. But in a high blood sugar, you don't have to really worry about that. Now, sugar, high blood sugar, at first is not as critical as a low, because with a low you're likely to lose consciousness quickly, and things don't always work out. High blood sugar, you can go wild for a high blood sugar. It's not going to be the end of the world. It happens when it takes a while. Not when it takes a while. when you have it for a while. You can open yourself up to complications. The more sugar you have in your bloodstream, the more chances. Now, when I was diagnosed, they kind of, if your blood sugars were around, I don't know, 10 to 12, for those of you in the States, times by 18, and you'll get what your values are. And it just, there were always rooms for hiding, and oh yes, you could always pull one over on your doctor. Well, then hemoglobin A1C came in. And that is now going to tell your doctors how well of control you have. And if you don't have control, it's going to tell that as well. Now, a lot of doctors are happy if you're in close range. Well, they shouldn't be. You should be only satisfied when you are as close to normal as you can possibly get without putting yourself into jeopardy. But a high blood sugar can turn dangerous, and I've talked about this before, but today we're talking about the severe side. High blood sugars can turn into DKA, diabetic ketoacidosis, and that's when your body's blood starts turning to acid, and this is not good. Now, chances are that you're going to be heading into ketoacidosis when you start vomiting. If you've had high blood sugar and you start to vomit, that's when you're gonna start worrying, or not start worrying, but that's when you need to go to the hospital. And chances are you'll be hooked up to IV insulin, and things will work out well. So that's the only time it will work out well. If you try to treat it at home, it needs to be done before it reaches this level. And yes, this is an emergency visit. Now, people have called ambulance for DKA, and that's fine. But don't wait for it to get to that level. Do what your doctors told you to do. You will live a long life. With diabetes, I find it won't get better on its own. If you're high, I won't eat, and it'll just be fine. Well, if you're just a little high, that could work. But if you get into very high situations, you need help with your doctor. And, you may call them up and say, my blood sugars have just gone sky high. What should we do? And there you go. Sorry, you were getting loose. So, is insulin the only treatment for high blood sugar in a type 1 diabetic? Yes. Now, people say, well, low carb diets is the answer, and you should be eating fruits, or you should be just eating salads, and that does a lot more for a type 2. I won't say it's not beneficial for a type 1, but type 2 is basically because they want to lose weight. And if they lose weight, they can probably, not 100% sure, but chances that they could get off, medication, it's greatly increased. For type 1, really, your body is just signaling to you that, hey, I need a little bit more insulin. Or a lot more insulin. But as I said in low blood sugars just before this, or severe lows, don't over-medicate. Don't just say, well, I'll take 100 units and I'll be fine. Trust me, I've heard of diabetics doing that. But you don't have to. Don't get into, well, just take extra insulin. Because eventually you're going to pay the price. And that's going to be that you're going to have a severe low. High blood sugars will sneak up on you. And then all of a sudden, boom. And you realize you're having high blood sugars. You need to ensure that you're on top of things. You need to go through your blood works. You should be keeping records, whether you keep it in a binder or you get a book from a drugstore, or you have a pump like I do that keeps track of all this. You have to do it. And if you start trending one or the other ways, notify your doctor. Medication or insulin can and will change. Now, most doctors will give you a correction dose. And that's, if you're over this, you can take that amount. If your blood sugar's over that, you can take this amount. So, always be ready to be proactive. If you see that you're going high or if you're going low, do something about it. But don't go crazy. Contact your physician if you don't have a game plan. Now's the time when you need to get your game plans written. Don't wait till you're sick in bed, and because, sorry, I thought there was someone there. If you start having high blood sugars, then you're feeling rotten and you really don't want. But if you, the first time you hit, and, for 3 or 4 days you have to keep giving yourself extra insulin, then hey, hold on here. Maybe I gotta increase my basal rate or give myself extra insulin. But don't give yourself an astronomical amount of insulin. But go see your doctor now, or the next visit, and say, come up with a game plan for when you're high. And listen, people, diabetics, we get stubborn. Oh well, I can handle this. Well, I wish I could have handled it. I think I've told you this story. I was just newly diagnosed. I think I was diagnosed within a year. And I went to a friend's birthday party. And I slept over, I believe. And I came home after this party. Just don't guesstimate on, I'm high, I'll just take this amount of insulin and I'll be low, or I'll be lower in half an hour. That's not how things work, guys. I'm sorry. But, sorry, you're loose again. I don't know, this one's coming loose. I got a couple more of these things yesterday. Now, get a game plan. And you should get a game plan for if you're experiencing lower blood sugars. But you should have a plan for when you're high and when you're low. Don't just say, you're happy with things and that's the way it goes. It's not going to work out well. So take care of yourself, whether you're high or low, and you're always going to go either way. But, if you're one of the lucky ones that, you take your insulin, you eat, and you exercise, and your blood sugars stay the same, all the power to you. But chances are it's not going to happen. You need to take care of yourself and live a long, long, long life. Anyway, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day, and I'll see what I can come up with for tomorrow's topic. Bye then.